Asia Rising is a TV series about the future, tracking business leader and philanthropist Vikram Kromadit's travels across this continent. Our goal is to highlight the world of tomorrow today. So far, we've heard a lot of positive things about Asia, how demographics, energy, enthusiasm will combine to make this Asia's time to lead. We've seen how ASEAN, an incredibly integrated supply chain across East Asia, are helping to grow economies. But this doesn't mean all is well with the world. Positive opportunities don't eliminate negative consequences, and as is always the case, the future is still unwritten, no matter what the pundits have to say. So what keeps political leaders up at night, and what are they doing to minimize the inevitable security risks and sovereignty challenges? It's a radical solution. They're actually trying to work together.
All world leaders need to work together.
Groupings are very important. They help to improve overall relations. I mean, Asia is a very complex region with many issues. The big risk obviously is of a political nature as well. If economic integration and cooperation is not sufficiently supported, then private sector-led investment and improvements in governance will come to a halt. So all this is subject to a continuous political, peaceful, collaborative understanding where the benefits of cooperation are seen as being more important than old rivalry of the past.
Not all the ASEAN countries have the same interests. Some have very strong interests. The Philippines have very strong interests. Vietnam has a very strong interest. Others don't have any direct interest in terms of the resources, but they have interest in terms of the waterways and the movement. Others have a strong interest in the sense of keeping some kind of ASEAN unity. So they have a bit of a tension right now because some among them have a very strong view in terms of trying to establish a broader view, a view which is supportive of their interests. Others basically don't have or are not pushed to such a role. Now China's position has been weakened by the fact it is seen as such a big player. It would like to do and negotiate and talk about the issue in terms of bilateral discussions. But everyone realizes that a bilateral discussion between China and any specific country is not a fair discussion. So they would argue that they need a more multinational approach.
China will be a very compelling, by far going to be the most compelling economic story in the world, is going to be the Chinese growth story. Even though the US will be in many ways a more attractive market to be in for the long term, China will be the more compelling story. In Asia, the attraction of the economic pull from China will be overwhelming. So any country in Asia, if it has the ability to benefit from Chinese economic largesse, will do so. So, to say that these countries in ASEAN are going to be able to really move away from China's really speaks against everything that's going to be happening economically in this part of the world.
And it is not just the countries of ASEAN who have benefited from the Chinese growth story.
In April 2013, the organization Business Environment Risk Intelligence has just announced that the environmental investment in Taiwan ranks the third in the world. It's just next to Singapore and Switzerland. So this may imply that more and more overseas companies will be watching opportunities in Taiwan, especially those who want to enter China market. So the trade agreements like ECFA with China, TPP with the United States, and ASEAN with Southeast Asian countries will be meaningful and helpful, not just for Taiwan, but for a lot more countries in the world.
We view on two things, that is Asia as a partner, and second as a long-standing, long-serving partner. So that means that we don't really look those countries as only manufacturer or consumer. It is a partner, so we will enjoy partnership in asking them to manufacture together with us, and all division of labor in a way, and also as a consumer where they would import Japanese goods, but more now Japanese would supply parts, and then they would assemble or make a final product from some of our parts. That's the pattern of trade now.
So partnerships are key, foreign direct investment is key, but what does it really take for a country to actually benefit from closer economic integration?
Myanmar has been left behind, has been closing the door for 50 years. So from now on, we just open the door, we're just inviting all the foreign investment to be in our country. So in 5 years, 10 years down the road, I think we should contribute a lot of things. We can be a pillar of the ASEAN development also, because a lot of interest, a lot of focus, a lot of interest has been given by the whole world that Myanmar is start opening.
Throughout history, all civilization has been advanced through meeting of people. When people are in isolation, they wither, they die. You leave a person alone by themselves on the steppe, they will soon be gone. It's through human interaction that we are humans. And Asia and Europe are the two greatest civilizations of world history. Their coming together has helped to create this modern world. Their continuing to work together can create a future that overcomes some of the past problems that the Asians and the Europeans and the other people of the world have created.
So this means the key to Asia's success is actually the key to the world's. It's an old concept called harmony. Asia is changing. It's growing, expanding, and exploding. Sometimes there are just not enough adjectives to describe the monumental transformation. But Asia is not just about numbers. Behind the headlines are people, everyday people. They are living, they are enjoying the process and wondering what it'll mean to them. And this is a good question for everyone to ask, since the changes in Asia won't just affect people in Thailand or Malaysia, China or Japan. No, the changes will impact everyone in the world.
In this ancient land, I see the future.
Asia is rising, but it doesn't mean that there aren't persistent challenges to Asia's growth. I'm confident, though, that the leaders of Asia will really do what's right to move their region forward.
I think it's a real opportunity. I think as the more developed parts of ASEAN continue to grow, that naturally spills over. You will see opportunities, it's a good influence, the connectivity, but it's important to all of us, and it's an opportunity we shouldn't miss.
Asia's in a really, really good place for the next explosion of growth.
This is our time. This is Asia Rising.